Welcome to Question Bank. This is the sixth part of random MCQ. In this videos, I generally discuss the problems from any topic, and if you want to practice these questions, please pause the video and do it yourself for each question, and then resume the video and match the answer. So let's have the first question. Question number 1. Which of the following transformer is smallest? So options are given, and in each option KVA rating that is same. KVA rating is same for all the options, that is 1 KVA. So we can say that first thing, here KVA rating is same means turn ratio and turns, voltage, current, flux density, all the terms are predefined because KVA rating is same. So from this we can write the equation E, that is the EMF is 4.44, phi max, that is the flux, maximum flux, F N. N is the number of turns, F is the frequency, and here flux is fixed, number of turn is also fixed, and rest is E and F. So here, and voltage is also fixed, and here this flux is defined as B max, that is flux density into area. So as flux is fixed, B max is also fixed, and rest is A. So here I can tell that, and E is also fixed, so F into A is equal to constant, and A net, or the net area of the cross section of the transformer, is inversely proportional to the frequency, or this can be said that size of the transformer inversely proportional to the frequency of the transformer, frequency of operating of that transformer. So larger frequency means smaller transformer. So here larger frequency is 600 Hz. So this will represent a smaller transformer in size. So option D is the correct answer. Next question. The average value of the voltage wave V is equal to 110, 110 plus 175 sin 3140 minus 25 degree voltage is. What is the average value? Average value will be 110 volt, because this is the DC and this has the same average value as that of constant value, but this term is a AC term, is an AC term, so this term has average value 0. So the answer is this one. The next question is, which of the following is a stable system? Option A, type 1 system with parabolic input. Option B, oscillator with positive feedback. Option C, op-amp integrator with positive feedback. None of the above. This one, the first option is type 1 system with parabolic input. So if we see the table, you can find that it has error of infinity. So as error is infinity, this is surely unstable. So both options are cancelled out. Now we have two options. One is option B, that is oscillator with positive feedback. And the option C is op-amp integrator with positive feedback. And op-amp integrator with positive feedback does not exist. So option C is also cancelled. Always integrator is with negative feedback, not with positive feedback, and all the system with positive feedback are unstable except that is oscillator. even op-amp oscillator with positive feedback is stable. So only the system that is oscillator with positive feedback is stable. So this is the exception. So here answer is the oscillator with positive feedback. Next question, if a three-phase alternator is short-circuited at its terminal, then the initial value of short circuit current will be limited by, here this is soft transient reactance, because this is the definition of soft transient reactance. This is the definition of soft transient reactance. So next question, which of the following defines a ring oscillator? A two NOT gates connected in series, two NOT gates connected in series with a feedback, three NOT gates in series, three NOT gates in series with feedback. This is a very good question. And first thing, two NOT gates connected in series like this, two NOT gates connected in series. This is called actually the buffer circuit. Buffer circuit. Two NOT gates connected in series with feedback. This is called bistable vibrator. This is called bistable vibrator. Next one is three NOT gates in series. Three NOT gates and in series. I cannot name this one because I have not studied anything about three NOT gates in series, but the answer is, that is the three NOT gates in series with feedback. Three NOT gates in series with feedback. This is the ring oscillator, and this is also known as astable vibrator, astable vibrator, square wave generator, square wave generator, or clock generator, or ring oscillator. These are the names of this circuit. So next question, the insulating material for cables should be option A non-hygroscopic, option B non-inflammable, option C acid proof, option D all the options are correct. So here all the options are correct. All the options are correct. So for the insulating material, what are the properties should be? Properties should be, first one is high dielectric strength. It have high dielectric strength, high dielectric strength. Second is high mechanical strength, high mechanical strength. Next is non-hygroscopic, as here given, means it should not absorb moisture. Next is non-flammable, non-flammable, here also given. Actually in English, inflammable, the word inflammable also means flammable. Flammable and inflammable has same meaning. Non-inflammable is the opposite of both flammable and inflammable. So this is given, and it should be both acid and alkali resistant. So here option is all of the above, or all options are correct. Next question, which of the following delta value gives the best steady state stability for a generator connected in to infinite bus? These values are given. First thing, what is delta? Delta is the generator load angle which is going to be connected to the infinite bus, which has the voltage angle considered to be the reference. So what is this? Suppose this is the transmission line and this is the, suppose this is the generator and it has angle E delta, and this is the transmission line represented by an reactance, and here suppose V0, this is the infinite bus bar, it has the angle reference to be 0, and so the generator angle is determined to be the delta, and for better stability delta value should be from 0 to 90, and the best value should be from 30 to 40. So best value should be 30 to 40. General operation is also operated in between 30 to 40. So here answer is 35 degree. Next question. The impulse response of a continuous time system is given by h of t is equal to delta of t minus 1 plus delta of t minus 3. Then the value of step response at t is equal to 2 is dash. This is the question, and here this is given impulse response of the continuous time system is given by this one. Impulse response is given and asking for the step response at t is equal to 2. So here step response is given by h of t, that is given into u of t. This is not into, this is the convolution. So here the convolution h of t is given delta of t minus 1 plus delta of t minus 3 convolution u of t, and u of t will be multiplied simply as u of t. This will be, after convolution, this will be like this, u of t minus 3. So what is this one? We can draw this graph. U of t minus 1 means, first thing, this one is 0 and this one is ut. Ut means from greater than 0, this is value is 1, this is ut. What is t minus 1? T minus 1 is from 1, this is delayed by 1 or right shift. This is t minus 1. What is t minus 3? T minus 3 is, this is u of t minus 1. And what is t minus 3? T minus 3 is, this one is suppose 2, this one is suppose 3, this one is 1, this one is 2, and this one is 3. What is t minus 3? T minus 3 is this much, delayed 3 values to right. So this value is 1, also here this value is 1. So when this one is u of t minus 3, when both are added, what will be the value? Value will be like this, 1 here, 2 here, 3. So here u of t minus 1 means this one, u of t minus 1 means this, and u of t minus 3 means this one. Value is 3, sorry, not from this, from this. T minus 3, the value will be here, the value will be so a question is asking for at t is equal to 2, what will be the value? So here at t is equal to 2, what is getting? At t is equal to 2, the value is 1. So here option B is the correct answer. So next question, which of the following statement is not correct? All ferroelectric materials are piezoelectric. All pyroelectric materials are piezoelectric. All piezoelectric materials are pyroelectric. Or pyroelectric materials are not ferroelectric. Here the question is asking for not correct. So all ferroelectric materials are piezoelectric. This is correct. All pyroelectric materials are piezoelectric. This is also correct. And all pyroelectric materials are not ferroelectric. This is also correct. And answer is C. So I am explaining here what is first thing, what is piezoelectric. What is piezoelectric? Materials which when undergoes mechanical deformation produces electrical EMF across it. This is the piezoelectric metal. Then what is ferroelectric metal? Materials having spontaneous electric polarization. Even after removal of the electric field, there will be some remnant polarization. This is called the ferroelectric metal. You must have seen in case of synchronous generator, there is a remnant polarization due to which the OCC starts from this in spite of starting from 0. So this is the remnant polarization in case of in the magnetic field, and here this is the term of electric field. So next is the pyroelectric. What is pyroelectric? Materials those generate electrical EMF when subjected to heating or cooling process. So in case of pyroelectric, heating or cooling process, that is the heat is converted to the electrical energy direct, and in case of a piezoelectric metal, the mechanical energy is directly converted to the electrical energy. So I can say here that this is the domain, suppose this is the domain of piezoelectric material. This is the domain of piezoelectric metal. Piezoelectric metal. Then some of piezoelectric metal are non-pyroelectric, non-pyro, and some are pyroelectric, and both are under piezoelectric material. Because among piezoelectric materials, some are non-pyroelectric and some are pyroelectric. Example is quartz, used in generally in crystal oscillators, watch, quartz is used. And then is pyroelectric material. Pyroelectric material also can be ferroelectric and non-ferroelectric. This one is ferroelectric and this is non-ferroelectric. For example, ferroelectric, for example, this is Bt, that is barium titanate, BaTiO3, PJT, that is lead zirconate titanate, and this is Pt, lead titanate. And example of non-ferroelectric is ZnO, that is zinc oxide, which is very useful in case of LED or anything that semiconductor applications. So here all ferroelectric metals are piezoelectric. This is the subset of piezoelectric. Next, all pyroelectric materials are also piezoelectric. This is pyroelectric also under the piezoelectric metal. C is all pyroelectric metals are not ferroelectric because there are also non-ferroelectric under the pyroelectric. So this is not the case. So here option C, all piezoelectric metals are pyroelectric because of there are also non-pyroelectric under the piezoelectric domain. Option C is the answer here. Next question, what is the modulation index of an amplitude modulated signal having amplitude of modulating signal of 6 volt and that of carrier signal is 10 volt? What is the amplitude modulating index? MA is given by MA is given by KA into VM by C. VC, this is the voltage, that is amplitude of modulating signal, and this is amplitude of carrier signal. What is the Ka? K is the proportionality constant. If not given any value for the K can be taken to be, Ka can be taken to be 1. So here MA is equal to modulating signal amplitude, that is 6 by 10. This is 0.6, and MA value is always between 0 to 1. So first thing, option B and option D is wrong, and only option A and option C are remaining. So here practical values, both this one is also practical value and this one is also a practical value, and here the value is 0.6 is the correct answer. Next question, purpose of skewing of rotor slots in the induction motor is option A to reduce the magnetic hum of the motor, option B to increase the distribution factor, option C to reduce the locking tendency of rotor, option D to increase the breadth factor. So here this is to reduce the locking tendency of the rotor. This is also called the cogging in induction motor. Next question, question number 12. A series LRC circuit resonates at 1 MHz at frequency 1.1 MHz. The circuit impedance will be resistive or capacitive or inductive and will depend upon the relative amplitudes of RLC. This is given option. So you should always remember that this one is the curve and this is the frequency, suppose omega. So R, that is the resistance does not depend upon the frequency, so this is constant. This one is for R. Next comes the XL. What is XL? XL is omega L, that is the inductive reactance, and this is directly proportional to the omega, that is XL is equal to omega L. L is constant, so this is directly proportional to the frequency. Now comes the XC, that is the capacitive reactance. Capacitive reactance is 1 by omega C. That means this is inversely proportional. This is inversely proportional. So here this is XC is equal to 1 by omega C. So this one is the value where resonance occurs, that is resonant frequency, because here at this point XC is equal to XL. R value may be anything, but XC is equal to XL. So at this point this is the resonant frequency. So above resonant frequency XL value is greater than that of XC value. So this is inductive in nature. In case of frequencies below the resonant frequency, XC, that is capacitive nature, is greater than inductive nature. So here the capacitive. So question is asking here, that is 1.1, that means greater the resonant frequency. So this will be inductive. Next question is asking, in electronic circuit, for blocking the DC component of a voltage signal, and dash is connected in series with the voltage source. So this is a capacitor is connected with the voltage source. Suppose this one is the capacitor and this one is the voltage source. Suppose this one is the AC voltage source, and to block the DC voltage because capacitor blocks DC and allows AC. So capacitor is connected in series with the voltage source for this purpose. Next question, in Swinburne's method of testing DC machine, the shunt machine is run at option A, motor run as a motor at full load at rated speed and rated voltage. Option B, generator at full load at rated speed and rated voltage, generator at no load at rated speed and rated voltage, motor at no load at rated speed and rated voltage. First thing, forget about rated speed and rated voltage. This is same in all the cases. So thing is that motor at full load, generator at full load, generator at no load, motor at no load, motor at no load and generator. First thing, what is the operation, no load or full load? In case of Swinburne's test is purely a no load test. So this is preferred only for shunt motors, not preferred for the series motor, because series motor cannot be started without load. So this is a no load. So option C and D are still remaining. Both these are cancelled out. So what is this? This is generally operated in motor at no load at rated speed and rated voltage, because here rated speed is given. This is rated speed and rated voltage. Option D is the correct answer. For which Swinburne's method is used? For calculation of the efficiency of that DC shunt motor. Next question, what are the RMS values of phase and line voltages of 3-phase bridge inverter in 180-degree mode with DC voltage source of 360 volt? This is the, in case of, this is the 3-phase bridge inverter in 180-degree mode. It has also a 120-degree mode, and in case of 180-degree mode, the V phase is given as V phase RMS value is given as root 2 by 3. Please refer to the book for this formula. I am writing the formula directly. Is root 2 by 3 into 360. This is coming to be 169.7 volt, around 170 volt. Next is V line RMS. V phase is already calculated. This is V line. The V line RMS is equal to root over of 2 by 3 into V source, that is equal to around 293.94, will be nearly equal to 294 volt. So here the answer is 170 294. Option A is the correct answer, because asking for phase and line respectively. So this will be the answer. Next question, the lightning arrestor is connected. Option A is series with the line. Option B, between line and earth. Option C, to a pole near the line. Option D, to circuit breaker. So here this is option B, that is between line and earth. Next question, which of the following is not a constituent for making porcelain insulator? Porcelain is generally made up of clay, quartz, feldspar and stellite. Silica is not present generally, and feldspar, all these are used, but silica is not used. So here answer is silica. Next question, 8085 microprocessor has dash number of address lines and it has addressing capacity is dash kb. This is, it has it has 16 number of address lines and it can address up to 64 kV. So option C is the correct answer here. Question number 19. What is the average output voltage of single phase full converter DC drive for supply voltage of 230 volt AC and firing angle is 30? So here this one is the formula is given by V output is given as this is from drives, DC drives, 2 Vm by pi 2 Vm by pi cos alpha. So this will be 2 into Vm will be root 2 into the RMS value. RMS value is given to be 230 volt by pi into cos 30. So this will be 179.33 volt. So here this one option A is the correct answer. Next question is the function of condenser in thermal power plant is. This is to condense used steam into water. This one is also correct, but used water is not into the used steam water is not used. So option C is the correct answer, because here because after the water passes, not water, the steam passes through the turbine, that is goes to the condenser, and at that place this will be converted to water again and purified also. So this is the end of this topic. Please comment if there is any wrong explanation for these questions.